Catherine for the roll call.
Chairman Rebecca Shelton,
Present.
Vice Chair Thomas Turkin, Board Member Angela Cruz,
Present.
Board Member Mac McCray,
Present.
Board Member Amy Kelly.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Our invocation tonight will be by Board Member Mac McCray, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance from Board Member Turkin. Let's all stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow above the eternal God. We come this afternoon in the humblest manner that we know how. We first come recognizing that thou art God, and besides thee there is no other. As we look back over our lives, we just want to tell you thank you for all of the many wonderful things that you have done for us. We pray most of all for the Graham family on the losing of Senator Graham. We ask, Lord, that you hold them in the hollow of your hand, whatever they stand in the need of, Lord. We ask that you bless them right now. We pray for the city of Boynton, all of the employees. We pray for all of the citizens. Whatever we need in this community, make it better. We ask that you give it to us right now. All these blessings in your name. Why? Because you still live. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda. Let's begin on my left. Board Member McCray.
Thank you, Board Chair. I'm good. Thank you.
Board Member Kelly.
I have
Board Member Turkin. And Board Member Cruz.
nothing for me, thank you.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We will move on to informational items by the members of the board. Let's begin on my right with Board Member Cruz.
Nothing for this meeting.
Board Member Turkin.
Nothing, Chair.
Board Member Kelly.
Nothing, Chair. Thank you.
Board Member McCray.
Clean shot. Nothing.
Okay. Moving on to announcements. Would staff please like to approach the podium?
Good evening, Board. Mercedes Coppin, Business Development Manager. We are very excited to host the 6th annual Boynton Beach Night Market on Friday, July 24th and Saturday, July 25th from 5 to 11 p.m. each evening right here at Centennial Park and Amphitheater. This year's market will feature an 80s theme, bringing 2 nights of live entertainment, interactive activities, great food, and of course shopping right here in our downtown. The highlight of this business promotional activation will be the incredible feature of our local businesses. We are excited that we will be featuring nearly 100 vendors this year, 18 CRA-based businesses, as well as 47 Boynton Beach businesses will be featured. We have a variety of food and beverage vendors, as well as artisan, boutique, specialty retailers, professional service providers, and much more. Our attendees, of course, are going to be encouraged to visit our CRA businesses. They will be the ones that are going to be in the colorful tents throughout the event site. We want them to come over and talk about their products and services, as well as receive their complimentary glow item so they can glow up after dark. We'll also have Boynton Beach Bucks vouchers available at the CRA information booth. And in addition to all of the shopping, guests can enjoy live music, a DJ, costume performers, a roller skating rink, arcade, themed photo opportunities, an 80s costume contest, and so much more. So we are very excited about this. In addition to this, I just want to mention that on Friday evening, community greening will be there. Boynton Beach-based residents will be eligible to receive a free tree while supplies last. And last but not least, parking. That's always the hot topic. So we have a variety of parking that will be available around the site, our City Hall parking lots, as well as First Church of Boynton Beach and First Baptist Church. Will also be using the parking lots directly behind the boardwalk on the southwest corner of Boynton Beach Boulevard and Federal. And additionally, we have a shuttle that will run a park and ride service from Hester Center, as well as Journey Church and the Senior Center. So we encourage everyone to come out, support our local business community, enjoy our premier summer business activation right here in downtown.
Thank you. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
upset to be missing the roller skating. That's my thing. I'm the only one that roller skates up here, truly roller skates. So I am very sad to be missing this.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you'll miss
80s,
it too.
wear my side ponytail.
Right. I'd just like to say thank you all for putting it to 11 o'clock, because on Fridays I get off at 8.
Okay.
And I always get in and say, whew, about 30 minutes, but I have time to spend now. Thank you on Fridays.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
We will be moving on to public audience. It's 3 minutes per person, non-transferable. It's not a Q&A. Same rules always apply. The speaker must address the board as a whole and not to any individual on the dais. Insults, personal attacks, and disruptions will not be tolerated. You'll be asked to leave should you violate these rules. After we concluded those in person, we will move to online.
Good evening, Board. My name is Vicki Hill. I live in Delray Beach. I was sitting on my couch this morning, drinking my coffee. I said, well, what's going on in Boynton today, this evening? And I see BBQOZ on here again. Another amendment. This is looking bad for Boynton Beach. Why? I know that they want to get on here again to go to 2 years from the 3 years, from the 15 years, but it looks really bad that they couldn't even wait until after the vote in November. It looks greedy. It looks like somebody owes somebody something. I don't know, but it's pretty sad. And last month, someone said, we're so happy that they didn't leave. They're not going to leave because that land, we gave it to, the CRA gave it to them for free. Worth $7 million right now, for free. What did they do? They probably liquidated it and took it down there to the dunes, which looks very, very nice. But it looks bad in Boynton Beach. The next month, now that you've okayed 3 years, now it's okay for 2 years. It looks really bad. As for the budget, are you rolling funds that have already been purchase ordered? They're on a purchase order. Are you rolling those too? They're already on a purchase order. You don't need to roll them unless you deleted those purchase orders. Also, on some of the backup, I think you need to adjust it because it says for 25-26, the millage was 7.8, and for 26-27 is 7.75. It was it was 7.75 this year as well. And also, how much will the developers be getting for the TURFA agreements? It just said $9 million on there, but there was no backup as to what that was going to be. So that was all I had, and have a good night.
Thank you. There should be a little button. Yeah, use the one that's better for you. Yeah.
Hello.
Good.
Elizabeth Rowe, 637 Oak Street, Boynton. I just wanted to know with the CRA if they were planning on having anything in District 2 East near the Intercoastal Park. In the past, before we had all the events that were being held over here, we did have events that are over there. We kind of feel a little deserted in the way that we don't have grocery stores or restaurants or anything like that. So it was always really nice when Intercoastal Park had different type of functions over there, and it just seems like the building's beautiful. When it was built, it was the gateway to Boynton, and that's where a lot of our things happened, and it just kind of faded away. And I just was wondering if with the CRA at some point in time, if they have other things that they could also bring over there. They did have craft shows before. They had environmental type shows that were over there. Kids used to have their camps over there as well. They also had them at Boat Club Park. It just seems like a lot of the things aren't as far east for us, but I just thought maybe at some point in time we can try to think of another, 4th of July is always excellent over there, and they have the Christmas and Mother's Day and stuff like that, but we wish we just had a few more events that were held down over there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak before we look online? No one?
We do not have any public
Thank
comment
you.
online.
Public comment is now closed. We will be moving on to the consent. If my colleagues would like to pull any items from the consent agenda, let's begin on my left with Board Member McCray.
Yes, I'd like to pull old business. I'm going to pull, can I do that now? 14A?
No, we,
No, we haven't got to that. All right, I'm good.
Board Member Kelly.
No, thank you, Chair.
Board Member Cruz?
No, and second.
We have a motion to approve and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We will be moving on to 14A. 14A is the consideration of the Fourth Amendment to the Purchase and Development Agreement with Maple Tree Investments LLC for the USPS project on the CRA-owned property located at 401-411 East Boynton Beach Boulevard for an extension of time for the site plan approval. Teresa?
Good evening, Board. Teresa Utterback, Development.
Your microphone on.
Usually I'm really loud. Teresa Utterback, Development Services Director for the Boynton Beach CRA. This item is before you. They have had 2 extensions. Unfortunately, Mr. Conley could not be here tonight. He's traveling.
He's online, though.
Oh, is he?
Just-
Oh,
yes,
great.
he is online.
He is
So-
literally between flights, so.
It says Denver, so I'm guessing that's where he is right now.
Yes, that's exactly where. Anyways, I think we've gotten to a good point now. We did have a meeting with him. There were some concerns about FDOT allowing them to make a turn into the project right off of Boynton Beach Boulevard. And USPS is redoing the site plan so that the main entrance is off of Third. And that's the reason for the extension. USPS does tend to drag a little bit. You know, they're a bigger agency. I understand that. I know that Mr. Conley has really been very responsive to staff. So I will let him speak and fill you in on the progress. Lately, there was good news before he left, so
Okay.
is he available?
Mr. Conley, if you can hear us, you can unmute and introduce.
Here I am.
There he is.
Thank you.
Do you want to give your status? Can you hear us?
You mean like location or like the status of the project?
The project.
The project.
So I met with Postal this morning with our new updated concept. They approved what we have updated with an entrance into Northeast Third. Northeast Third will be an in only with an out to the alley in the back with traffic moving east to west from Railroad out to Northeast Third. We've also redesigned the building itself to lay more horizontally in relationship to East Boynton Beach, and which is a better fit for the way that I'm not sure we call it the coding, but the way that they want that designed as far as more shallow front to back and wider left to right. And so we've scooted everything else around, and they like it. So I'll be receiving that conceptual design any minute in PAD and getting it to my people where that we can get that thing officially put on paper and then get it in front of site review.
He goes above and beyond.
Okay.
In the airport tram, I can tell.
There he's, and he's gone. I know he's still there. Okay.
Yep, he's in the background.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
My question is, do we see a groundbreaking in the foreseeable future, like the near future?
I sure hope so. Absolutely. I will tell you that Mr. Connolly,
Still showing, but I don't think he's,
yeah, he really has, as you can see, he does not want to delay this one iota. I know he's got his financing in place, so that's costing him money every single day. I really do have the utmost confidence in him. So yes, I anticipate, I want to get USPS out of their current location. The building is not, it's not holding up. So staff and Mr. Conley is definitely moving this as quickly as possible. And I'm sure once it gets through site plan, I know planning and zoning is always very helpful. And I know they're on top of it, so
Yeah, and we know this is on their radar, so I know
very
they'll-
much so.
They'll work on it as quick as possible.
I feel like I might be back in service if you guys can hear me.
Oh, yes,
Just got
they
off-
can, you are.
We're good. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion
Motion
to
to
approve
approve.
item 14A?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item
Thank you, Board.
14B. Thank you. Is the consideration of the Commercial Property Improved Grant Program to Patua Pizza LLC located in the heart of Boynton Shops at 137 Northeast 10th Avenue, Unit 104. Bonnie, can you open this item?
Good evening, Board. Bonnie Nicklin, CRA Economic Development Director. At the May 12th meeting, the CRA Board directed Patua Pizza to have a 60-day extension to get 4 items in place. It was to provide proof of financing, provide a executed contract, submit the permit revisions, and, what was the first? And provide a project timeline. They asked for a 30-day update, which was June 11th. By June 11th, I had not received any update from the tenant, and by staff observations at that time, there had been no construction in the unit. The permits all expired on May 29th, and I did not get an update. I followed up with them on June 22nd after receiving an email stating that they had applied for a loan, but I responded back and reminded them that there were 4 items the board had asked for an update on and that we would need that no later than June 30th to make the agenda publication. I did not receive an update on those items. The permits as of today still remain expired. No work has been completed in the unit, and we are recommending termination of the grant program at this time. And I'm here for any questions.
I don't have questions, but I do have comments. I'm just saying, we have met them, every way that we could,
Yes.
and we have tried to work with them. And for us over in District 2, I'm just saying, when, we come to you and say, well, when will this be built? When will this be, and then they're not doing what they said they was going to do. We went way out the way. We said, give us a 30-day update. We have not heard from them, and I'm just saying, we as the board, we need to do what we need to do, and we just need to go ahead and tell them, to find another place. I'm not
Agree.
interested.
Agree. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Now we're moving on to item 14C, which is the consideration and termination of
Real
the
quick,
rent.
Mayor.
I
It's
thought the
similar.
grant and the rent,
Real
so we're
quick,
done.
Amanda, the backups for that agenda item, and Catherine, does there need to be a more extensive motion, or is it
Do we need both?
clear because the agenda backup has different options? So I just want to,
We would need 2 different motions.
That's what I
One is
thought.
for the improvement grant and one is for the reimbursement grant. They were granted both.
right, but I just want to make sure it's clear because our approval options are very specific. And so I want to make sure that we didn't need to adjust that motion to be clear on what our position was, or if that was,
For the particular grant that was just before you, it's expired under its own terms, so it's
Okay.
not a need to be specific for that one. This other grant is not yet due to start. However, the CRA, it is related to that project. It's the same tenant, of course. And so if you choose to terminate that grant, you may do so. The grant term does allow for that. And you would just need to make a finding that the applicant and their proposed use no longer advances the goals and objectives of the program.
Okay. Okay, with that being said,
I'm going to offer a motion that we terminate that grant.
we have a motion to terminate the commercial rent reimbursement grant program to Patua. All those in favor say aye.
May I clarify, sorry, is
Yes,
that under the
please.
understanding that it is no longer an advancement of the goals and objectives of the
Yes.
program?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Ditto. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Thank you, Board.
thank you, Bonnie, for all your help on that one.
Now we're moving on to item 14D is the consideration and funding request for BBQZ LLC for the 115 North Federal Highway Mixed Use Project, The Piers. Council Rosmel, Can you open
It's going to be me.
It's going to be you? Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Essentially, all we're doing is we have already earmarked these funds. We've, during the budgetary process, we've identified probably about 5 million. We're going to be able to accumulate the entire 7 million allotment. I don't see the need for 3 years where we could accomplish all of our performance milestones. That was the board's request up here during TCO and CO. So it's my recommendation that we do the amendment and move it from 3 years to 2 years. That's all.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the board?
I don't have no question, but I do have a comment, and I'm just saying, when people say that, I was the one that made the statement, I can say it because I don't mind saying it, that they could have walked away, but they did not walk away, and I'm glad that we can go from the 3 year to the 2 years for them to get it, and I'm about to offer a motion that this be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say, when you look at the economic impact of this is over a $100 million project. You're going to see your ROI with this, within maybe 5 to 6 years. But then also you have that economic spend from, what that's going to create. And so it's.
Yeah, I mean, we're investing
Yeah,
in
and
the
then-
future of downtown, and that's really what.
Yeah,
it comes
and
down to.
also the preservation of one of the largest, the most known restaurants
Right.
in East Boynton,
Right.
right? And so, I think it's important that we look at everything holistically, and, this gets this done, and, this thing's been a nightmare with the litigation and everything, and, I know this is something that people are looking forward to when it comes to new projects. A lot of other projects, they're not because of the density. However, with this large commercial base, it's going to really anchor that corridor on Federal and Ocean Avenue. So I think, when it comes to job creation and driving more commercial revenue for the city to lessen the burden on residents, that's a go for me.
Good. We have a, go
For
ahead.
me, yes, I do want to say because of litigation, the project was delayed significantly, and we just really need to get this project going and up. And most importantly, knowing that this is going to provide workforce housing for a lot of residents as well as potentially city staff and also the commercial side of things. So, and now also tax revenue as soon as they're actually up and running.
Yeah, and, you brought up workforce housing. This is one of those projects that a previous board, and Mac may have been on there at the time, but kind of forced their hand to provide a certain number of workforce housing in perpetuity. So it doesn't end. Most of our workforce housing ends after 15 years or 20 years, but this one, there were some units that were going to stay in perpetuity. So I think it's important to note that, that's why it's important that we push forward with the plan that we have, and that we're glad to move this forward is because of the benefits that do come back to the city and the residents.
Well, we have a motion and we have a second to approve item 14B. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to 15A. New business item 15A, consideration of the fiscal year 2026-27 project fund budget. Staff?
Yes, good evening. I have just a very short presentation I'd like to go through, and then I will bring up the Excel sheet with staff's help, and we can make any adjustments that the board desires. Next slide. Is there a clicker? Okay, thank you. So overall revenue for this year, we are just shy of 31.1 million. An estimated 27 million of that is coming from TIF revenue. The TIF overall went up about
When you're done with this slide, I just want one thing to comment, but I'll wait till you're done with the
Yes,
slide.
sir. Overall revenue went up, specifically with the TIF increment funding. Assessed value went up about 4% this year. Last year was about at 7%, so it's a pretty significant slowdown in property values. The overall revenue is gone up. Some of the revenue, one of the reasons for that revenue going up is there are some things that we are budgeting for that weren't allocated for in your previous budgets. We are estimating about 1.9 revenue from the marina and fuel tax. We are still diving into the marina and going through the business side of it to really see what it's making and what it's costing us. So more to come in the marina. Right now in our first cursory review, we're standing at about 1.9 revenue. Interest on funds, we are again estimating approximately 1.3 in revenue from interest on existing funds. And other leases, $608,000, that is coming from our lease agreement with USPS. We have some small other ones as well. That is not something that we are going to repeat year over year, but for right now, it is a revenue source. Next slide.
Real quick, I just
yes.
want to thank you guys for highlighting like the operational component for the marina, because when I would ask before, like, how does the marina, oh, well, we think it breaks even, or maybe it breaks even. I never got like a real clear cut, like, perspective on like, what are we doing operationally there? And Brian's done a great job, and Teresa, she does an awesome job working with Brian on that. So it's just good to know that we're not just breaking even.
Yeah, and we will have more information coming on that. I am getting to know Brian very well at the marina. I am learning a lot about marinas that I didn't know before, and we will get to the bottom of the full business analysis of the marina.
So thank you guys for including that in this summary with the budget.
So some of the budget drivers, currently in the budget, we are budgeting just shy of 1.9 million for the City View. Thank you. The City View commitment. We don't know if we're going to have to spend this or not yet. We did make the commitment to fund the project, but they have not been awarded the project yet. So it is budgeted in case we need it. There is about $4 million currently budgeted for affiliated. That would equate to the item that we just approved to move forward with. The next year, we would budget the remaining $3 million. Some positives, the debt service is officially done. We've made our last payment, so we are up $2.3 million for debt service. Yes. Again, we are accounting for 1.3 in interest, which we had not counted for before. And we are also accounting for 1.3 in a grant fund that was awarded for the marina seawall. Those weren't accounted for previously, so we are highlighting them now and taking them into account in our budget. Next slide. Oh, I have a clicker. Yes. Okay, so on the general fund side, we have found approximately $700,000 in savings. We did distribute money between the different budgets. So in total, we have gone from about $6 million down to about $5.3 million. The marina expenses are staying steady at 1.3. Again, as we kind of dive deeper into the business side of it, that may change throughout the year. Other general fund expenses slightly raised from 2.2 to 2.3 million, and then in admin and operations is another chunk of savings from 2.4 million down to 1.6. So the project fund. Currently, we are accounting for a $28.5 million transfer from the general fund. We are accounting for about $15.7 million in rollover, monies that weren't spent this year within the project fund. We're accounting for that $1.3 million grant, and we are accounting for, this is slightly out of date, it is $9 million with previous commitments. Those are made up of $4 million for affiliated, 1.9 for City View, 2.8 for Town Square, about 200 for 500 Ocean, and approximately 200, just shy of 200 that we're accounting for the first year for Wells Landing or Heart of Boynton shops. So that accounts for the commitments, which makes our total for our project fund just shy of $33.8 million. Some of the big highlights, the biggest pot of money within your project fund as it's proposed today is the targeted property acquisitions and P3 collaborations. It is at $15.3 million. We are moving forward money for Pence Park. We rolled over about 4.2. We are now padding that up to the 4.5. The marina seawall, that 4.8 accounts for the rollover of 3.5 plus the 1.3 grant that we received. Boynton Beach Boulevard, on the west side of Boynton, we have about 500 for demo currently, and we're adding another 500 for FP&L relocations that need to happen in order for the site to be developed. We have some adaptive reuse and historic preservation dollars, just shy of $1 million, and we are continuing the NOP program, just shy of $1.3 million.
Madam, excuse me, I have a question. The FPL lines, although they are owned by FP&L, we still have to pay to have them moved?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I don't have a firm estimate from them. Right now, they're estimating about 500. We'll continue to work with them and see the easiest and quickest way to get that through. So this is just overall a summary of what we talked about. We do have the 33.8 to discuss in the project fund. Our debt service is paid in full. We have about 9 million of commitments for next year to be spent. There's about a 12% savings in the general fund, accounting for about $700,000. If I can have staff bring up the Excel sheets. The full line item list of that $33.8 million is about to be on the screen. If there are any changes, we'd like to know what you all would like to do. The one thing I would say is if the rollover does pass, like Alan said in the previous meeting, that would account for about $700,000 that we would need to account for in the project fund and make adjustments.
Thank you, Chair. Couple things on a more macro level that does entail like the property acquisition and P3 line item. I think we need to start talking about the Boynton Beach Boulevard project and all those parcels and do like a workshop. We have the survey, we have the results, so I want to get together and start looking at what we want to do there. I know that there's a couple pieces adjacent that, you know, we're potentially looking at, but I think that conversation needs to start. The second thing is regarding the marina seawall. So one thing I want us to think about is you have, I think, you know, almost 24 businesses there that are going to be displaced with that construction. And so what I want us to look at is, you know, we have Harvey Orier Park, but we have the Oak Street property adjacent to that. So this is, again, this is just like a spitball idea. Amanda, I brought this up to you, but I want to bring this up because it is important. I don't want those businesses to get displaced because they do rely on continuance, like operations, right? They can't close down they can't stop their operations for a month or two. You know, it hurts. They already have a slow season. So I want to minimize that impact and see what we can do to either phase that project, so that way we can assist, you know, maybe half of those tenants and, you know, look at, you know, what can we do on Oak Street, you know, maybe it's a different water, adjacent public park to where we can provide some type of floating docks, something to where they can still operate and they have the ability to continue their business because, you know, Two Georges, you know, they were methodical with their portion of the seawall. They closed half, they redid, you know, everything, and Steve Skaggs, you know, he's brilliant, and, you know, they're big boys, and so they have the ability, you know, to survive. These other operations do not, and so I want to make sure that as we're looking at this budget, that we leave something, and you know, I know this is going to be contingent on what the scope of work looks like when we start going out for bidding, and I think we should include that in that bid, is making sure that we have the ability to try to phase the project, minimize the operations for the tenants, and you know, look at and see what we can do to try to help offset and provide a temporary location if possible. So that's just an idea, you know, I have, and I think it's important because the last thing we want to do is we need to do the seawall, but we need to do it methodically and with intention. And
Absolutely. Our first step would be going through the design phase. Once we go through a design phase, part of that scope could be a phase of construction. We could build that into how it's constructed. Hopefully, I don't know anything about seawalls, but we can request that it is looked at to be constructed in phases and limit impact as much as possible. And then as they're designing it, they can let us know what some options are to keep some in place, and staff can commit to looking at other options for floating docks or other areas. We can even probably include that in the scope.
yeah, if we could include that in the scope, that would be great. You know, offset the cost on us. You know, and maybe that's an ILA with the city side of things. I don't know. I just want to discuss this now because what I don't want to have happen is this project moves forward, and no one's thinking about this, and then the next thing you know, we have 24 tenants that are getting a notice, and they got to be out by a certain time, and they got nowhere to go, because it's very hard to get slips in South County, and they're very expensive as well. And so I just wanted to make sure that we're thinking about this in relation to the seawall project.
Thank you, Chair. One thing, Amanda, you and I were talking about during, and it's very minor and minimal, but I think it's important to, I know we have the MLK entry feature construction. We were talking about entry features. I brought up, Boynton Beach Boulevard, that's, and there's I'm sure that we will have to, that it'll part of however that project ends up. But I wanted to make sure that there's at least, it's at least on our radar, and I know we even talked about the one at the south end of the city, an entry feature to the city, and so I don't know if we change that to entry, CRA district entry budget, and then that way we have that flexibility, because, right now, not knowing what's to come of Boynton Beach Boulevard, we don't know if that's going to be part of a project, and we're not going to have to, or like you and I discussed, if it incorporates art and the art fee can be used for some of that, we may not have to foot the bill, but I want to make sure that we've at least, it's at least on our radar and doesn't get lost. But I think that was just a small thing that you and I had spoken about, but otherwise I think that you've done a great job at looking through everything and seeing where we could shift and move to have it make sense on priorities that we have right now. So, thank you.
Jabbar, if you could just scroll down, the MLK entry feature item, I believe, is, yes, right there. It's line 31. Currently, we have $350,000 on that project. It is currently going through site plan approval, so there's been some movement on it. Would the board want to make this just entry features and possibly add funds to it, or would you possibly like to add another line item for other entry features that haven't been started? We can do either.
I feel like since the MLK one has already been started, that maybe that's a separate, and plus it's a little bit more because it's actually like almost a park.
It's a small pocket park,
Right,
that's right.
so I feel like that's a little bit different than putting up doing an entry feature, but I'm okay, I'm open to the board's thoughts, so.
Yeah, I like the idea of the, at least allocating some funds for the entry feature. And then, we get a project going there, we just reallocate it elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that, with keeping the parking garage on our radar, keeping the grocery store, and it's almost like just a placeholder to make sure
Yeah.
it doesn't get lost in the shuffle, because we know that it can happen without thinking about it, so.
Thank you, Chair. The Neighborhood Officer Program, 39. Years ago, we bought bikes for that program. What happened to them? We also had Segways for that program. What happened to them? Did we sell them? We got money, nobody said anything, y'all forgot? I remember.
I do remember.
I think the Segways are collecting dust, from my understanding.
Well, they wouldn't let me ride it.
And they probably wouldn't let me either.
I remember Henry Deal riding around on those around the city.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure about the Segways, but I know our police officers do have bicycles. We still have bicycles.
Are we planning on putting them back in use, or?
They do use them. I've seen them. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir. I've seen some of the folks that are in this room on them.
Yeah, them in the back, Carter.
Got thumbs up.
Yeah.
Next time you're on them,
only-
say,
the only
it
on
right, so I can see, Okay, but my whole take is that for that program, is that enough funds that we have in there? I'm just saying, because I don't want anything to fall short.
Yes, sir, we worked with the police department and their accounting to ensure that it covered the necessary items.
Okay.
The only other thing that I think that we should talk about at a later date is the rideshare program.
Yeah.
There, again, we talked about this, I think, in our workshop. There's other companies that do advertising and handle it and make revenue, and we're sitting there paying it, and it's not working. It's not going to places that the seniors need, and I just think it's something that we need to put on our radar to work towards.
That would be a pot of money that we could allocate for entry feature signs.
I still think we need the service. I don't,
Yeah.
just don't think we should be paying for it when there's
Different
other
model.
companies in other
Right.
cities that start off right off the rip and they have advertising and they've created routes. I think it would serve the gentleman that was here earlier with being able to connect to other types of transportation, and that's something that it doesn't do either. So I think that it's not as advanced as it could be, and there's other companies that we should not have to pay to use.
Yeah, and
Mr. Katz, you wanted to say something real quick?
David Katz, thank you for your indulgence. As Henry VIII said to his 6 wives, I won't be long.
hang on one second, sorry.
In the backup, there's proposed
ones.
allocation highlights. None of this was in the backup. And I've got a question about, you've got business development promotions for, looks like 368,000, and you got business promotion marketing for 200,000. To me, it sounds like a distinction without a difference. So maybe if somebody from staff could explain those, maybe it should only be one of them. So I'd appreciate if you can have somebody from staff explain that. Thank you.
Would you like me to respond? Sure. So one of them is specifically for marketing. The 200,000 is purely a marketing budget. It's dollars that we spend we're planning to do, national campaigns now for the CRA. It's money we have earmarked for pure marketing. The other line item, the business promotions, is the, I'll call the events fund. That's where the night market, spring market, and those types of things are funded out of.
Man, I have another question. I might have missed a slide, but do we have our monies already in the bank making money?
I would call Alan up for an update on where our money is and if it's making money.
I mean, the CRA money.
Right. I know my money's in the bank making money.
Good evening, Board. Alan Lawson, CFO. So we currently, right now, with TD Bank, we're getting around 3.25%. That started actually, I think, in May, that had already transitioned. So that has already started. And then with the two other banking services that we were talking about, I've got a 3.75 commitment, so I'm just ready to transition that money over to Pinnacle once everything is all signed to go.
So we don't have all our eggs in one basket, what I'm trying to say, right?
No, and as a matter of fact, one of the things that we were talking about earlier is I think it'd be really important to really try to understand the marina business, is to keep and house all that expenses and revenue at Truist, maintain that relationship. They've also increased their interest at 3.25 to match some of the others, so we're getting that money there. So I'd like to keep all that money there so we can track all the expenses as well as the revenue and do a full reconciliation to fully understand how well that business is doing.
Thank you.
If there are no other comments, do we have a motion to approve item 15A?
If I could just get some clarification, if we are going to move funds for the entry feature or,
Can we just establish a line item for
Yes.
now and?
and just have fund zero until we want to move
Yeah.
some dollars in it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're saying do a
Unless-
blank line item?
Right, unless, well, I know you talked about how there has been discussion about an entry feature on the south end. Do we have a estimated cost of that maybe we could at least allocate that so that we have that set aside and then it's not just a blank line item? Do we?
There is,
have
so
a-
the estimated one for the one to the south, and it's very similar to what was there before, is between around $50,000, the one that we are rebuilding to put onto that, the median location. So we could allocate that as a placeholder. The other item I just want to bring, if there are any comments, again, with the rollback, there will need to be cuts of about $700,000 onto this project fund. So if there are any, we don't have to make any cuts now, but if the rollback does move forward, if there's anywhere specifically you would like staff to look at or to readjust, we could do that too. Obviously, the biggest pot of money is the property acquisition. We're at 15.3, that could also be the first thing that we take off, and I could bring it back, and you guys can adjust if needed. Okay.
Yeah.
Amanda, also on this that you gave us, I need to know the park that's on the corner of MLK Boulevard and Federal Highways, that's what we're talking about?
That is funded. That is currently item 31. It is the MLK entry feature construction, $350,000.
Okay, what's the status on that?
It is currently in site plan review. I believe we are waiting for the contractors to resubmit. Or Teresa, looks like she has an update, so she can come. Yes, there is some environmental stuff too.
Good evening, Board. Yes, so I do want to bring you up to date on the MLK entry features. So we had some arsenic found, properties contaminated. We received like 100,000, at least 100,000 in county grant money. So we saved a lot of money. They did an engineering study, they did well testing. It is now back before the county as to they are not satisfied with the plan. We were anticipating remediation. Now we may not need to remediate, and I'm giving you the layman's terms because that's all I really understand. But it comes and goes, as I'm finding out. It ebbs and flows. So they are trying to figure out between the engineers and the county whether or not what type of remediation is going to be needed. I literally just followed up with Alan Chin, who is helping me with the county grant, and we're just waiting on the county side to say, hey, this is the plan we want you to follow. So that is moving forward, absolutely. Again, it's county, it's a grant. I was more than happy to take it, and I know Bonnie's been working on the entry feature. We also have the survey. They did some guy wire moving when they redid the sidewalk. So we just had it resurveyed, and that will go to the architect. So we'll get everything in plan, but we are on track. It's just a little slower with this contamination. But that's also what the CRA does, cleans up contaminated properties. So I know it's slow, but it's a win-win on this one, I feel, but.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. No other comments? Do we have
Motion to
Motion.
approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve 15A. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Now moving on, the next item is 15B, consideration of changing the schedule of the CRA regularly scheduled meetings. Ms. Radigan, I don't know if you want to open it or we can just all discuss it.
Yeah, so this is the proposal to change our regularly scheduled meetings to be ahead of the city commission meetings. The proposal is that the regular CRA meeting will be ahead of the meeting that is on the third Tuesday of the month, and we would stack the CRA meeting followed by the city commission meeting. We are working on getting our agendas more streamlined. Hopefully you are feeling the effects of that. We are also on the city side would commit to adjusting the agendas to make sure that we are more consent heavy on the third Tuesday and more substantive content on the first meeting as well.
Okay. I support this. Anyone else have any conversation, comments?
No, I think it's a good trial run. We'll try it out and
yeah.
see what works. And, I mean, I know other cities do it, and, you know, for the expenses that we use to have City Hall open for another evening, if we can cut that down, I think we're, you know, we're saving being fiscally responsible. It's another way to do it right.
Okay, put that
And we're
being
going to still start at 6, correct?
That would be up to the board. We can continue to start at 6 for the CRA
Yeah.
meeting, and then we would just push back the city commission meeting to follow the end of the CRA meeting.
Okay. So regular city commission meeting first Tuesday, and then CRA, then city on the third Tuesday.
Do we do a firm start time for the city commission so that there's at least some, like, do we say it's going to start at 7 so that people actually, or, because there'll be assuming there'll be a break for IT,
Yeah, so we did work out some of that with IT.
Okay.
We're waiting on direction. There will be something that they will need to buy to make the transition quicker, because we don't want to break 15 minutes in between meetings if we don't have to. So they can, there's 2 options. They could make it immediate if we want it rolled into one recording, or a short 5-minute break in between just for them to switch some connector to start and restart. So yes, we can delay to a time certain. It's usually, it'll be this time or later, depending on how late the CRA meeting goes.
Right, yeah, I just
Like we do
worry
with
that-
public hearings sometimes.
Right, yeah, that's true. I just worry that, I mean, if, maybe we say 6:30 as a firm start time so that people aren't here, that maybe don't want to be here, or they come late and then they miss what they came to hear. And so that way, at least we have a firm start time. And if the CRA meeting runs a little bit over, then we obviously we just start when we're done, but.
And I think it's important that not only does the CRA message it on their stuff, but the city does too.
Right.
Just so, because
It's
more people are watching the
consistent.
city stuff. And I'll put it
Correct.
in my newsletter, and if we can all do that.
Yep, I'll put it in
In our
mine.
districts. Okay, with that being said, if there's nothing else, do I have a
No.
motion?
But not to adjourn, I have a comment.
Oh, sure.
First of all, I'd like to say that Bonnie, you know, because like I said this, Bonnie, I thank you for all the work you did for 104 for the shops of Boynton. But in the near future, I'm just saying, if they act like they're not doing right, please don't waste your time and our time. If they're not producing, you know, let us know so that we can continue to move forward. I'm just saying, for what you all went through, and there's still not anyone in there, y'all just, you didn't work for nothing. We learned, you learned, and we learned.
And it was actually, you know, I believe it was some of the other CR members that were pushing for that, because from the moment on, I was like, wait a minute, this has been going on too
Yeah.
long. So I know you've been put through it.
Thank you for your support, and I'll have some interested parties who will be very excited to hear the news.
Yeah, they will be.
I'm sure.
Thank you.
Probably have a wait list.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys all. This has been very streamlined, very efficient. Cost savings, efficiency, this is what it's about. So you guys are doing a great job.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Amanda, I know you are working like no other, and I just want to give you your roses.
Thank you, I
You don't get
appreciate
them
it.
enough.
Yeah.
And so I just want to, say thank you for taking this on and truly like giving it your all. You can tell, when we sit down one-on-one and then out here. So it shows, and, that's the type of service that residents should get. And then Dan, obviously, thank you. And then I just want to congratulate Catherine Rosmel. She was appointed to the Palm Beach North Business Chamber. So congrats.
Does anyone remember Vice Mayor Turgan's and Amanda's exchange 3.5 years ago?
Which one?
It was great.
Which one?
All right, that being said, do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn, and I'll talk to Dan one-on-one.
Apologies, you do need to alter your schedule by motion before you leave, if that is the desire of the board. So if you would like to make a motion
So
to.
move.
Thank you.
Effective October 1, just to be clear.
Okay. So we'll start the new fiscal year. Got it.
Exactly.
Perfect.
There are
All
some
those in
weird
favor
things
say
happening
aye.
in September.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No further business. Meeting is adjourned at 7:18 PM. Everyone have a wonderful break.
Thank you,
for
Bonnie,
everything.
Teresa, and all the other CRA staff.